are again. Here we are again. That's it. It's big, huge, it's ugly. Here is an aerial view before the dam breaks and after the dam breaks. Before the dam breaks and after the dam breaks. What I find most interesting are a couple of pockets down here. This area here, and then there's a lake in this area before. Here. And then both those areas clear up. You see this little green patch here and this little green patch there? Both those depositories of fluid seem to clear up, which makes me think that the waste was being pressured underground somehow. Let me show you that again. Look at the lower corner here. Oh, sorry. Top. Before, after. Before the dam breaks, after the dam breaks. Also, you can look at the iron reserves where you see orange. That's pretty much iron in the water. That is built up northwest, and then that's just finally just couldn't take it anymore and had to release. There it is again. Before, after. Bento Rodriguez, of course, was destroyed, and then this 17 billion gallons of toxic iron manganese sludge poured into the Atlantic, looking something like this. Iron, manganese, heavy concentrated sludge, more sludge, more, hello. And as beautiful as that looks to some people, it is toxic heavy metals that have destroyed the landscape and pouring into rivers. So this is where this took place, and this Rio Doce poured it into the Atlantic Ocean around this point here, where the warm water currents picked it up. Now this is a standard warm water current, but this summer of 2015 was the hottest on record. It was breaking all records. El Nino was the record-breaking warmth. So it would pick up the sludge anyway because of the tip and pushing it out and up. And so it just sweeps it right up to the area of the microcephaly cases. So the dam bursts here, and then the toxic sludge is swept up into drinking water. And it also stays at the surface. Again, these are where all the cases are, right by the more than 50 cases. Boom, 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 boom. These are the hot spots where this sludge was drawn up into this area and likely consisted of the drinking water. This purple area will represent that area. Here's another graph showing the cases leading up to the dam breaking. Now these are the cases in these areas to begin with, which were above average. As the company was experiencing more and more leakage and letting out, and problems containing this sludge, and this sludge getting into the area, and the rain being drawn up by rainfall, etc. And yet there are 0 cases of microcephaly. Of Zika in the years leading up to this. You see, this is 14, 15, So where the microcephaly would have been October, November, December, January of 14, they're not talking about Zika there, but there's October, November, December, January. So January, there's no Zika. So there's the microcephaly's here. They're saying it correlates with Zika, but there's no Zika during pregnancy. There's no Zika during any of these pregnancies going on. So really, September, October, November, December, from here, all the cases we're looking at now, should have happened, well, I don't get it. I can't quite put that Zika thing into perspective, but I can tell you that Zika is all over the place. And yet the microcephaly is all around this toxic waste spill. There it is again. There's the dam for all of this mining, and there's more mining behind it. This place that's all they do is mine for ore, iron, and use manganese to do that. Right. There it is. It's kind of like a virus on the landscape, really. Once again. So if you look at rainfall around the areas of the microcephaly, I mean, I just took this from an aerial. I mean, you just notice, what I noticed was that the rainfall hovers here. It's not happening up here. There are no cases. There are fewer cases up here. But to follow the rainfall, to follow the currents, again, in these areas where you're seeing cases, you're seeing rainfall or, cloud cover. I grew up on Virginia Beach, and we got a lot more rain than the rest of the state, and when it rained, it poured. So the ocean does, I grew up in the Atlantic Ocean, it lifts the ocean humidity up and pours it down right on the shoreline, which is where you see the cases. Here's more cloud hovering the shoreline, where you see these cases. Again, there's poor little Bento Rodriguez. Now you see it, now you don't. And so I believe the Olympics are being held near Rio de Janeiro, and yet, and the water is toxic. There are a lot of sanitation issues there already, and plus this horrific environmental disaster sweeps everything up to settle in the drinking water in this area where the microcephaly is. I will do another talking PowerPoint on manganese, iron, and the possible protective addition of zinc into the picture. We do see microcephaly in these areas where iron and manganese co-localize from the breakage of this dam. Iron is not so good in excess. Manganese is not so good in excess. But put those two together, and they're like a tornado in the developing brain. Looking down south, there was another environmental issue at Rio Pardo, which dumped a lot of zinc into the drinking water. And there, manganese and zinc may be a protective factor. We're looking into that. But there's a causation theory here going on regarding iron and manganese causing outbreak of horrific microcephaly in Brazil. Thank you for your attention.